Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gosso, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms and feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep tearing in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breezy night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make her heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh.
touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. I hope you are all doing well. Do me a favor as you're coming in. Let's do that. First thing first, let's hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Shout out to my sponsors. Thank you so much, sponsors. More Fresh, Life with Natu, Adesua, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Gores Corner, D Love 3000. I see you in the chat. Yes TV, Chidima. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you for always supporting the platform. Yes, you can download another way you can support the platform. Well, you can also buy the books, but you know, either way, you can download them for free. One is Get My Marriage Back, the other one's Number One Red Flag. They are all available for free download. Also with free consultation coaching if you want to discuss issues in your I'm a marriage coach, essentially, okay? Marriage relationship coach. We offer coaching services here. So, but you can take a complimentary session by going to manofprestige.com. You can also send us a text message, WhatsApp, or regular text message is fine. +1 732 305 8577. All right. I want to say thank you for being here. What we do here, we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics, and we tackle them from self, meaning empowering you, helping you to not be a victim, to not perpetuate victimhood, especially if you're a man. Shout out to Brother Ben. We've been going back and forth in the chat all day long. There's always room. There's more room for victims at the bottom. All right. And when I say victims, I say that lightly. I'm not talking about actual victims. I'm talking about people that refuse to engage their power. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So we attack this from a self-power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence. Okay. If you hear yourself say, why is it always a man's fault? Or why is it that always a woman is at fault? If you hear yourself saying that on a consistent basis, that is a real concern. That's something of real concern. That is something that actually creates more damages, particularly because it's a blind spot. It seems like it just makes sense. Why wouldn't you want, why wouldn't anybody want, let's just call a spade a spade. Who's at fault? Let's blame whoever is at fault. Let's find out exactly who is at fault and blame the person. Well, if your partner is at fault, you end up becoming at fault. That is your problematic at fault partner. That does not exonerate you. It only perpetuates the problem. That is the wrong angle to fix romantic issues. So that's why we tackle this from a self, meaning you check self. Self is not blaming self. It's checking self. It's assessing self. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Especially if you're a man, because the society expects you to lead. Okay, that's just what it is. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you can change it. You can go and do surgery these days and change it. Okay. Now you're expected to lead. You expect to lead. You want to lead. So guess what? Guess what, ladies? Those of you that want to be forcing yourself to be leaders too, that comes with more responsibilities. Okay. Yes, and I will. If I have to blame anybody, I probably will blame you first. If you have raised up your hand and say you are the leader. All right. Same thing is true in the corporate world. Same thing is also true in romantic relationships. All right. So I wanted to drop that real quick. It's just a very long chat. I've been in and out of the chat all the long. I think it would be a very nice conversation. Maybe during the weekend we'll jump back on it. And Brother Ben is very concerned about women not paying attention to what respect means for men. Yeah, I think we should talk about it. I think it's a conversation we need to have. Anyway, so hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified. Let me come to the chat and come and say some hellos. We do have some topic to cover today. D Love says $20 super chat. Wow. Thank you so much, D Love. You're starting this off for me right now. I'm pumped. Okay. Now I'm even more pumped. I'm ready to go. Thank you so much, D Love. Thank you. All right, now let me say shout out to everybody in the chat. I see, of course, D Love. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up. Say Yeba Kumole. She loves that song. Not to Anna. How you day? Area. All right, Chidima. Hello. We see Marriott is here. Okay, we've been hanging out all day, by the way. Those of you that are missing out, I don't know why you want to do that, but if you're missing out, the only person that's allowed to miss out on this is D Love. I give her a special grace. Everybody else, you need to go hit this link. You want to go to whatsapp.manofprestige.com so you can join the backstage so you don't miss out on some of this conversation. All right. I strongly believe that a lot of people are learning. They're learning more by simply being inside of the backstage. Okay. Because I'm also not holding anything back. Sharing as I go. It's a difficult, very long conversation. It makes sense that it's difficult. A lot of people are struggling in relationships. A lot of people are struggling in marriages. Okay, the numbers are ridiculous, but yet 86% of people that are in divorce, they end up remarrying. So there's something about marriage that inherently we want, obviously. So we need to get it right. Okay, so however long it's going to take, that's why I'm here. We have to talk about it. Okay, so shout out to Chidima, and Natu drops another $20. Oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my G, thank you guys.
I never expected it.
I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so now today, I don't know how long this conversation is going to be. I'm going to try to keep the other stories. I have 3 stories before the main story. I'm going to try to keep them short, just FYI type of information. Chidima says, I agree, Man of Prestige. We definitely need to talk about it and hear man's perspective. Yeah, we need to keep talking. Absolutely. You know, we keep having this conversation. You know, I have a very, very strong feeling that just debates is not going to help. Okay. I think a lot of people see debates as cruise. Okay, not anybody in particular, just in general. It's more or less cruise. A lot of people pick pieces and stuff like that, you know. But the people that are learning the most are the people that say, you know what? Yeah, I need this at the personal level. I need my unique story. That's why when anybody tell me a story and they come up with a generalized solution, I say, will it work? Whatever solution anybody is coming up with must be tailored to your own specific situation. Okay, there are principles. You know, I always say that anyway. There are principles, but this is the part where we say what works for everyone is different, right? This is what people are trying to say when they say that it has to be tailored to your specific situation. What most people do is they jump on the internet and they engage conversations, you know, misery loves company, and then they find what resonates more so with what they're already saying. Okay, and then they basically end up in the same misery. Okay, so the ultimately, you know, whatever you're learning, it still needs to be tailored to your. That's why sometimes you see sound like you hear one thing and then the other side it seems like I flipped it back, because it's a dance. It's an ongoing dance. Your romantic relationship, your romantic experience is also going to be a dance. Even though we say men lead, sometimes men will be human, right? So he might be coming from a place of weakness. Most of the time from a place of incompetence, like he doesn't know what he's doing. Majority of the time, that's what it is, right? On your end, if you're on the receiving end of it, let's say you're a romantic partner to a man, right? On the receiving end, it's going to feel like abuse. Okay? So now we're stuck with what should we call it? Whereas the issue is not what we should call it. that is your husband, that is your wife. Okay, that is effectively your problem, and you need to own it all the way. And ownership is part of the key here, and a lot of people don't get that. It's a struggle. We must blame somebody. It's either we must blame somebody, or they continue to hear that we're blaming somebody. It's never about blame. It's never about whose fault is it. It's about the result you're creating in your relationship is wrong. Who is going to do something about it? If you can complain, you can do something about it. That's all I'm trying to say here. If you can complain, you can do something about it. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, okay? But I'm warning you men, okay? If your woman keeps stepping to the table, stepping up to this plate and helping you to talk about it all the time, it's not sustainable. That's not what a woman is set up to do. Society is not set up that way. You will shoot yourself on the legs. For every time you compete with a woman, you collect. That's just how it works. Okay, look around you. Okay, look around you. Even when she's absolutely wrong, you will see that very quickly she will say, "Well, you made me do it." Well, so should she do that? No, you're right. She shouldn't. But that's exactly what she's going to continue to do. Thank you. Welcome to the real world. I agree. I actually want to hear men's perspective, D-Love. All right. So, but I bet let's put it together. Let's have a conversation around what do we want women to understand about respect. I think when we do have that conversation, what we need to do is, well, I need to stay out of it because I have a certain understanding that most men don't have. It's just what it is. And that's fine. Most men will never have it. Is this what it is? Okay. That's why most men are not coaches. All right. But I will kind of like butt out of it. I want to hear what men has to say on what they desire when it comes to respect. Then I want to hear how women respond to it. Okay. Because I don't want it to end up in a situation where men have now said what they want in terms of respect. And then at the end of the conversation, we kiss ourselves, sausage first. Yes, we said it. But the women that are listening are just looking at you like you're crazy, like you're mad. Right? We don't want that. We want them to respond, right? So that we can actually have maybe one half of the show will be like, okay, men will basically spell out what they want and what they consider to be respect. Then the second half of the show will be like, okay, the ladies can call in or chat and tell us what they're interpreting. I'm sure they will tell us anyway in the chat already. But I think that will be interesting. Yes. So hit us up on the backstage if you want to see all of well, you can't see if you're just joining right now, but you're missing out on some conversation. So do me a favor, let's hit the like button, share, subscribe. We only have 7 people here. You know why? I'll tell you why we have 7 people here right now. And it's not just today, okay? Just make it a habit. I'll tell you why we only have 7 people here right now. All right, and I need you guys to help in this respect. I have 8 people watching and there's only 6 likes. That's why. Okay, we can't afford to have one missing like or anything like that. Now on top of that, I need you guys to share into your favorite WhatsApp group. Now we have 5. It's reduced. Okay, there's a lot of content on the internet. Okay, a lot of the content are gender warrior type content. Okay, we need to apply extra effort when it comes to educational material. Okay, we need to apply extra effort. Okay, I'm just saying, if you want to see better numbers, okay, hit the like button. For me personally, I would like to see better numbers. Obviously I would like to see better numbers, you know, but I don't want to have to talk about Cora OBD before I see numbers. Okay, I don't want to have to talk about Cora. I don't want to have to talk about Eula Duce before I see numbers. So I have a tendency to actually shy away from those topics now. With that being said, let's get into it. We do have some conversations to be had today. I'll be right back. All right. Let's talk about Cora. Let's talk about Joe Budden. You guys know who Joe Budden is? Joe Budden and Tahiri. Okay, so Joe Budden and Tahiri, I'm trying to see if there's some more information here about them. Okay, I know they dated years ago. Joe Budden is a podcaster today, and yeah, he's a podcaster today, but he used to be a rapper. It's a one-hit wonder rapper. Okay, yeah, he's a one-hit wonder rapper essentially. So but yeah, they dated also back in the days. I think GOUBADIA was ahead of everybody when it comes to the internet, social media, running skits, vlogging, showing showing his lifestyle. So at the time, earlier on in those times, he was with a girlfriend. Her name is TAHIRY Oze. TAHIRY Oze. All right. So, and what I'm talking about is a long time ago. Well, I'm talking about more than 10 years ago, no less. Okay, yeah. They began dating in 2005. Okay. So, and they had a lot of on and off, and their final split was in 2014. Now, who is she? She's just what you may call it. You can call her reality TV show star. Okay, I guess she was on reality TV show, a few of them, after they started dating. So their dating was ended in 2014, but they're still going at it. So in all of this Diddy drama, in all of this Puff Daddy drama, they found a way to pull themselves into it. And as usual, I want to talk about this, but I'm more interested in the comments of the people. That's where you get the real gist. So I guess they posted some kind of update about the Puff Daddy criminal behavior, the civil lawsuits. A brand new lawsuit just came in yesterday again. So there's more and more updates still rolling in on that. It probably has a bunch of victims out there, so they're rolling in the lawsuits as to be expected. So then this lady TAHIRY Oze, she jumped into the comment area on the shade room, and she said F out here. She said F out here. Who? The irony. Okay, so they said basically there was a post that said Joe Budden, because he's a podcaster, so he's going to have a comment. He's going to have something to say, some kind of opinion about the issues. And that's all he did. All right. I don't even know exactly what he said, but TAHIRY jumped in there and said, F out of here. Who? The irony. This is so triggering. I remember Joey throwing me down a flight of stairs. Trigger warning. Okay. Throwing me down a flight of stairs, dragging me back into the house, and me having to talk him into letting me go. And then she had on for hours. And then she goes on to say, this old shit took me out. So hard to watch. So sorry for Cassie and every other woman who is currently going through it or has ever gone through it is tough. Now again, they broke up as far back as 2014. There's multiple ways to look at this, right? There's multiple ways to look at it. You can look at it as why is she still talking about this 2014? Well, as we're learning on a daily basis, as we're learning more and more, it has no time limit. This kind of trauma has no time limit on it. And that's the saddest part about it. That's not something that people are encouraging. They're saying that's sad that there's no time limit on it, right? So, and especially if you've never gone through any kind of abuse, you probably should sit it out and don't make a comment on it. But I guess Joe was just donated his own 2 cents. I don't even know what exactly he said. Okay, but Joe Budden came back. Extremely predictable, right? I always talk about predictability. You don't want to be this predictable, man or woman. You don't want to be predictable. That's one of the number one. That's one of the topmost signals that you won't know what you're doing in a relationship. You're extremely predictable. Okay. All right. So he came back there and tagged her and said, "You are lying, failed gold digger that was abused, targeted, and manipulated by many men. outside of me. You lack an identity, which is why you've tried desperately to attach yourself to me for over 15 years. The last time I saw you, I purchased a mattress for you, and you were happy you made the sale. You were fine then. There was that night after Starlet 6 years ago when you invited me inside your new place. You were fine then too. You were on my body your entire last stint on Love and Hip Hop. Okay, so she's a Love and Hip Hop star. And tried your best to disrespect my son's mother in the process. The son's mother is another reality TV star. I had to ask producers to keep you away from us like the cancer you are. Yet, you continued to slight my name online because it's your identity. Jesus. Harsh. Somebody put a 1 in the chat. Oh, don't worry. I'll check it myself. Alright, yeah. We're good. Let's keep going. I don't speak to you or about you because it's low vibrational. You are a low level dyke man, con woman that's been lying about, you already know, for ages. I pray you heal. Lying about DV for ages. I pray you heal and move on one day. Hopefully, this is our last exchange. Prayers to all real victims. They don't get over it. Not the DV. Not the DV particularly. We already know that people don't get over the DV. But heartbroken people who chop and people who serve breakfast, they tend to have a hard time to get over it. Wahala. Not cool. Alright, so I want to go into the comments as usual. I want to see what they're saying. I'm reading it from the shade room. You know, somebody said, Joe, you've already previously admitted to abusing her. Another woman has accused you of beating her into a forced miscarriage. We don't believe you. Ouch. Oh no. Somebody said, why did you buy a mattress from her and not the store? Laugh my ass out. That's low vibrational. All right. Tahiri, somebody is simulating a conversation between them. Tahiri says, Joe, you abused me. Joe said, you're broke. Irrelevant. Anyway, let's keep going. Somebody said, is angry response is a dead giveaway. You tell on yourself when you talk too much. Why is your response double the size of what she said? Right? Why is it that your thesis is double or multiple triple size? Why? Because you have a need, an urge to make your lies the actual truth. Okay, maybe not your lies, your experience. You want to make it the absolute truth, right? Could it work? You're trying to control the narrative. It's a loser tactic. This is a deep conversation, I get it. It's a loser tactic. Okay? The one who is doing the most talking is the loser. I'll say, just to be safe, for the most part. Okay, there are exceptions to every rule. Let's keep going. So this person is right. The angry response is a dead giveaway. Plus, we also love a hip hop. Okay, they said, I'm just reading the comment, that's all. A bunch of Diddys criticizing Diddy. Jesus Christ. Somebody said, Lord, Twitter about to run those Love and Hip Hop tapes. Receipts back to Joe admitting to beating Tahiri. So he admitted to it. They wouldn't be saying it. This is a verified page saying this. Right? Meaning somebody was willing to pay $15. It's not that deep, okay? Anyway, another verified page. This is the same Joe that beat a girl into miscarriage and admitted it on the Breakfast Club. Sexual harassed his co-worker Olive Dope and so on. Please, gentlemen, you win when you shut the hell up and don't respond. You're thinking about this completely reverse. You're not wiser than people that tell you to shut up. I keep telling you. You're actually dumber. Let me just tell you as it is. Since you like straightforward, call it as it is, call it spade is. But you're actually dumber when you respond. And not only are you responding, you're responding fully with your whole mouth because you want to beat her at her own game. You cannot beat a woman at that game. Okay? The best you can get out of it is look like a fool that you clearly are. I'm just saying. Because listen, you don't know. Obviously, you don't know. But ignorance is not an excuse. Okay? Avoid argument with your woman. A woman you used to sleep with, Yoruba people say, you used to sleep with her. Once they bed, always they bed. Does not literally mean that. It means there's some emotional attachment that you are better off just leave it alone. You did not lose. Okay? All right? If she's lying, you just pray for her silently. But this idea of getting louder than her on the internet, it doesn't work. Don't you get it? It doesn't work. And it will never work because that's the way we're set up. Okay? That's the way our social construct is set up. It will never work. Okay? Now, clearly, from all of this talk, people talking here, clearly you admitted to doing something to that effect in the past. The more reason why you should just leave it alone. Yes, you might get triggered by events like this because you chimed in and you probably condemned Diddy's behavior. Because you're a social commentator, you should do that. That's fine. You took advantage of it. You have a podcast. But take your own personal stuff out of it. Jesus Christ. Somebody said it was better off not even giving us his take on the situation. Why even say anything? His response to her is super hateful, offensive, and personal. Any man who tries to degrade or belittle a woman like this is guilty. You tell on yourself. Because there's a reason why you feel the urge to respond this way. It's the same behavior that made you do what you did in the past. When you talked too much with cameras rolling, allegedly admitting to this stuff on camera, okay? You admitted to this. Is that what happened? Right? At least Diddy got caught because there's tapes that got leaked, allegedly from the feds. You talk too much. Right? Now, granted, you run a show and you're supposed to talk. Can you leave your own issues out? Your personal issues. Does that make you feel dumb if you don't say something back? Jesus. I'm not sure. Somebody said, if my memory serves me correctly, I remember on the show him admitting to being hooked on drugs and violent towards her for a couple of years during their lengthy relationship. I remember the crying too from both Tahiri and Joe. I want to say he even apologized as well. If this girl comment here, the best that could have happened is that the shade room will take it, they repost it because it's just content. If you don't respond, it will die a natural death. But no, you have to respond. Of course you have to respond. When I say this to men, it's for your own good. It's for your own good. It's for your own good. Okay? It's for your own good. You can't win that game of being the loudest talker. You will always lose. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me see this. I think there's 2 comments in the chat. Let's see. Oh, let me see if I can grab this link. D-Love, see? You see? Now, why are you doing this? I can't copy it. Okay, let me see. I think there's a way I can copy it. Okay. I have to get out of the studio to copy it. All right. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. There's a whole clip.
Tahiri and Vado, how do you guys think you did? Could you figure it out? Could you figure it out, Tahiri?
I think he was enticing me to become that.
Okay, so this is not Joey. This is the guy long after Joey. Yeah, this is the guy long after Joey. I think we covered this in the past. This is the short-term guy on the show Marriage Boot Camp at one point. This girl is not lying about DV. She actually was on the reality TV show. Yeah, you're right. Years ago, where the guy she was dating was putting hands on her on camera. So she has history of ladies. She has history of attracting men like this. You got to pay attention to that, ladies. You have to pay attention to that. If you've seen 2 or 3, 4 situations, you tend to attract the same person. You need help. You need help. Okay? Absolutely, you need help. If you notice, this is Joey right here. But let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for that, D-Love. What do you think? Do you think she's telling the truth? Do you think he's lying? What do you think this is? If you'd like, you can also add your medical diagnosis to it as well. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's check out this next segment. Check this out. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Simon GOUBADIA, Porsha Williams. How do you call it? Simon GOUBADIA, our Edo brother. All right, it seems like he's really enjoying. He's enjoying his clout chasing. You know, but he's talking. He's still talking. If you're wondering, this is Simon right here. He was with another dealer said narcissist. I have diagnosed him. He was with our Edo sister by adoption, Porsha Williams, Esosa, right? That's what they call her name, right? But you know, Simon is still talking. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Okay, how do I do this? I gotta think. Let me think about it, because I need to showcase some fine, well-behaved men. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. Let's not cap. Okay, they are very well-mannered, behaved men. They are everywhere. Okay, but these are the loudest ones, unfortunately. But these are the ones that we need to also learn what not to do from. Okay, these are the ones that we should be learning what not to do from. I am yet to see, at least on my radar, okay, and I'm paying attention to, because of this platform, I'm paying attention to, you know, to the news, you know, to this kind of news especially. But I'm yet to see any elaborate comment from Porsha outside of she's filing certain petitions, lawsuit. I think she filed a petition that she wants to be able to use the house they shared to film, because he blocked that, right? But I wanted to read this right here. You see this right here? There's a comment here that was posted on the Shade Room, directly posted by Simon GOUBADIA. I'm going to read it to you, okay? He said, reminder, the scales of justice are about fairness in court cases. What is the key word in that? Anybody put that in the chat for me? What is the key word that he already said? Red flag keyword. You've been here for a while, please. There's a keyword he said there. Let me read it again. The scales of justice are about fairness in court cases. There's a keyword red flag there already. Put that in the chat for me before I continue. Thank you. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. There's a keyword there, a word that they're usually obsessed with, that's already put there right there. I'm going to read it, but I want you guys to, I want to see if you guys pick that apart real quick. That's one. So that, let's say there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. That's one. The scales of justice are about fairness in court cases, right? They're synonymous. Justice, fairness, right? Justice, fairness. All right, that's fair that he's saying that right now, because again, the idea here is that you don't want to set up a relationship that will end up in this in this kind of predicament. Yeah. Once people start using the words fairness, that relationship is already inside of poto. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Whatever relationship is being referenced, either is being spoken about, the story is being told in third person or second person or first person, that specific subject relationship is already inside of the poto. Once the idea of justice and fairness creeps into the relationship, I want you to know you don't have to wait until you find yourself in actual poto like Simon GOUBADIA and Porsha. You don't have to wait. You can just pay attention to that keyword. You can pay attention to that buzzword. Okay? Poison, blame, fault, judgment. Number 4, judgment, condemnation, of course. All right? Same rhetoric. Fairness. Balance. Both of you should. It's too late. It's not working. Why you feel the need to say that thing? You need help. You need to seek help. Okay? Anti-seducers. Moralizer. The police. Fairness. Justice. They all kind of sound synonymous, right? You notice? Once you're in that space, it's poto. Seek help. You need help. You need help. Work. Nothing is going to work from that standpoint. It's already bad. Well, there's no news here. We already know that this situation is bad anyway. We're just telling you, this is, you don't want to, not only do you not want to end up like a Simon GOUBADIA, fresh divorce still going on, you don't want to end up with a very toxic experience, still talking about it 10 years later. They broke up. Joe Budden and this girl broke up 2014. They're still extremely toxic with the way they exchange words on the internet. Pay attention. Nobody else is saying these things. Write it down. That's your cheat sheet. Justice, fairness. It sounds cute on paper. When that enters the conversation, you're already inside of poto. Okay? All right, let's keep going. The scales of justice are about fairness in court cases. There are 2 sides to every story. Does that sound like a buzzword? 2 sides to every story. And each side of a case or a story must be heard. Okay, first of all, the reason why it must be heard is because there's more sides than 2. Okay, and honestly, they're not really listening to your side. They're looking for insights inside of your side of the story. And ultimately, another third side, the judge will make a third side, and they will decide the fate of the rest of your life with respect to the issue. It's not 2 sides. It's never been 2 sides. It will never be 2. It's as many sides will tell your story. That's the number of sides that exist. So how many monitoring spirits are monitoring this story? There's that 2 sides, yours and yours. There's the judge, and there's all monitoring spirits all together. Right? All that attention that you're obsessed with, all of them have their own version of the story. Thank you. Let's keep going. Each side gets the chance to present evidence or the details about the case. All right. It continues. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. This matter will take time to fully unravel. Keep in mind, they are never telling the lie. It's not really a lie, that what he's saying. Okay. It's beyond the idea of if it's a lie or if it's the truth. I need you to take another layer deeper than if it's lies or truth. Okay, there's another layer beyond that. There's something else behind either it's lie or truth. Either way, if you think it's truth, you're right. If you think it's lie, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but he says, buckle your seatbelts, folks. This matter will take time to fully unravel. There will be no conclusion until we have our day in court and all evidentiary matter presented at trial. Let me break news to you, ladies and gentlemen. There will be not just one conclusion, there will be multiple sides of the conclusion before court. Okay, and they actually tend to matter the most because that's why you feel the need to shalaye. Even what they say in court oftentimes don't matter. Because if the word doesn't hear it, you're not satisfied. Okay? Because that's all it takes. If that's all it takes, just go to the court, or you have to go to the court. Why do you feel need to tell the social media? because I'm guessing the court is not enough. But of course, you will not admit that to yourself, because that's the point. It's your emotions at play. You're caught up in your emotions, right? You're not expected to admit to it, but the reality is that many conclusions. Yes, there will be many conclusions from the public court of opinion. Is that what they say? Yeah, the court of public opinion. How do you say? Court, same thing. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. For example, depositions will be taken from witnesses and legal arguments will be made. One thing I'm proud and extremely good at is finding receipts and letting it tell the story. Oh my shit. This man has been collecting from since 1920. Please don't judge him too much. That's where this is coming from. All right. He said, only this time a court gets to pass judgment. Quote unquote, receipts do matter in court. And a jury of our peers will have an opportunity to deliberate on the evidence. Why do they need to deliberate? It's just two sides. They just have to pick the side that fits them, right? Particularly as it pertains to the conduct of each party in the course of the marriage. Time will tell, and patience is my strong suit. Stay tuned. He's absolutely right about that. You know that patience they tell you to have inside of the wedding and the marriage and the relationship? You will have it by force, by fire. Yeah. You know. But he said something here. He said he's proud. He's particularly proud of, let me see here. He said, let me find it again. Oh, where is it? He said, I'm proud and extremely good at, one thing I'm proud and extremely good at is finding receipt and letting it tell the story. But he forgot the part that he's also very proud at wasting time on relationships that are predestined to fail and to be dragged along with his whole family on the internet. He should be proud of that as well. There's nothing to be proud of here. This is a very, very sad situation for both of them, because Porsha should know better too. It's a very, very sad situation. But this is what people do to themselves. This is where you don't want to end up. You don't want to end up in this kind of water, because if you do, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, or you will collect. You know the saddest part about all of that? Your children too. I'm not going to play this clip. They will collect. They'll collect, sadly. So please do everything in your power to make sure. Shout out to Ajibola Olufemi. I see you. Dilo says, Simon Agbaya, don't go and sit down somewhere at your big age. Wahala. About Simon plus Porsha, match made in petty. I haven't seen Porsha stuff much, but I think she's playing her own petty in a different way. If receipts are telling your story in court, then why are you online, Simon? Exactly. Simone. Why? Because because Baba feel the urge to shout.
We explain because no evidence.
We explain tired. But anyway, do me a favor. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Let me know your thoughts, all right? Check out this next segment. All right, welcome back. Here's a quick update on the DIDDY story. Apparently, Cassie has broken her silence. Cassie thanks. Let me see what they said here. Cassie thanks everyone for their love. Okay, let me just read the actual statement. It says, thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, and strangers, and those I have yet to meet. By the way, Cassie is the young lady who was unfortunately was caught on video. Well, she was being beaten on video by DIDDY. DIDDY was caught on video over the past few days. Basically beating out this young lady who was his girl at the time. So she's filed lawsuits before the video came out for $30 million. They've settled. She's moved on. She had not said anything up to this statement. So Here we go. She said, thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my young self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. If it broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today. But I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending. But this support means everything to me. Thank you. Now, here's the thing with that statement, okay? A lot of men are pushing back, okay? And I understand why. There's also been a lot of outbreak of stories of people that ended up in jail and they found out that a lie was told against them. Okay, so that part where she said, my only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. Let me tell you how I processed that statement, why it's not a big deal for me. She said victims. Okay, she said victims. Okay, she's not saying that you should. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Hold on. All right. Still, sorry about that. She said victims. How can I disagree with that, right? She's also, if you know math, if you know how to unpack, if you're truly logical, okay, she's also insinuating that you should ensure that person is a victim. Okay, but that's kind of impossible to tell you the story. So you kind of have to believe their story. Well, just wait. If you don't believe the story, do you have to say something? You don't have to say anything, right? Everybody has their own level of instincts, or whatever you want to call it, intuition, that you can believe a person or they can believe or not. But people that also tend to be loud about this, they have their own biases. Okay, they have a tendency to not believe anything. Okay, they will even drag you as a victim before you continue the story. They will say, why are you there? Why are you wearing that? How come I can see your cleavage? People that tend to also push against that kind of statement, they tend to be like that. You can tell what their bias is up front. Okay, the key here is to have empathy. When somebody comes out and they tell a story and they say, or they claim they are a victim, apply empathy. Apply brakes on your ability to empathize. Okay, sometimes what that means is just listen a little bit longer. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to say, hey, should I just believe everybody? You're overthinking it, and if you're not careful, you're telling on yourself. Okay, you're telling on yourself. So I don't see anything wrong in the statement that she's made, considering the numbers, the statistics when it comes to DV, right? I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule, right? Of course, that's sad when everybody gets a lie told against them and they have to fight a case that's not really real in court. Sorry. But when you look at the statistics, which I don't have handy right now, when you see somebody say, hey, I've been a victim, and especially if the stories are adding up, knowing the kind of power that Diddy had in his hands, like, why would you need to push against that? By the way, if you brought Ryan, what's his name? Ryan, what's the name of the ex of this lady? Somebody remind me. Somebody keeps bringing the name of this guy. Cassie's ex. Let me see if I can find it. Cassie's ex. Somebody keeps bringing his name into this conversation. The person that she was with, the person that allegedly brought her into the industry, some kind of Ryan, I forgot his name, some Harvard educated guy like that. Anybody help me in the chat, please? Who's that person? See, I forgot his name, but some people have had the name of this guy on their mouth over the past 24 to 48 hours. And it's just very sad. If you brought his name into this conversation, you are lame. You are lame. Okay. She has been with him since 2007. Right? So she left that person long before 2007. So a lot of people are saying that guy was a good guy, and she left a good guy to go be with a bad boy. And it's either they're insinuating, right? They're insinuating that she deserved what she got, or they are talking on both sides of their mouth. Either way, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing to do, and you're a lame person if you did that. Let me see if I can find it. His name was Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie. If you brought Ryan Leslie name into this conversation, you're a lame person. Not just a lame husband or lame boyfriend, you're a lame person. Okay? And there's a good chance that somebody is sleeping with your girl. All right? That's a past history. Okay? So I'm looking at the comments here. So I want to look at some of these comments. Somebody said, Cassie girl, why you took the money instead of putting him in jail? I think she couldn't. I think they said it was beyond the statute of limitation. Okay. I really want to say that's a stupid question, but I won't say that. You could tell a lot of your beat on your significant other because these comments are wild. Okay. I haven't seen them comment. Somebody say you're still defending Diddy. Wow. All right. So it's a lot of people out there, believe it or not. And they want me to acknowledge them that, hey, they're defending Diddy. It must mean that they have a valid reason. Nah. I refuse to. Okay. I pay for my time. I will acknowledge you. The number of uneducated and inconsiderate responses on here is not given at all. Let me see if I can find some of them. Heavy on believing victims the first time. The footage was heartbreaking. I'm just happy she found a good man at the end of it all. So when they say believe victim also too, that's a loaded statement. It's not. It's a loaded statement. It just means empathy, okay? If somebody says they've been a victim, and the first thing you're doing is assuming in the back of your mind that they're probably lying, yeah, you're lame, essentially, okay? Sorry. Yeah, you need to get it together. Her only ask is that everyone should capitalize it for us men, believe women the first time. Yet most men are blabbering about not believing women the first time around. At some point, we have to have our women back, brothers. That's the idea. The idea is for women and children to feel safe in our society. But of course, you want to argue semantics. How didn't we? Of course. And then you want me to hear you. No, pay for my time. I will hear you. Okay? I can only imagine what he was doing to her behind closed doors. It was comfortable enough to do that in public. Protect survivors, not predators. Somebody said my mom was a victim of domestic violence, and as a little girl watching your mom stay in with a man who did so much damage to her physically and mentally, and she never left, never pressed charges against him. We would call the cops. He would hide, and she would lie to the cops and tell them he had left. For the life of me, I couldn't understand why, and I'm grown now, and I still don't understand why it lasted as long as it did. I just knew I was going to never be that person my mom was. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. Some of these men that are defending this nonsense, they have the same Stockholm Syndrome. I'm sure it wasn't the money because my stepdad ain't have no money. I'm not sure what this man be having. Again, you think it's money because you keep discounting emotions, or you don't understand that emotions will be your mates. All right. But anyway, that's that for that. She broke out. She said some things. I think the statement is pretty apt in my opinion. I don't think anybody should dwell on any part of it unless you have something to tell us. first it was that she was lying. Now that we know, yeah, because again the bias is real. You almost, that's why Shalaye doesn't work. Unless you're creating content, of course. You almost cannot convince people that have existing biases. Okay, all right. And by the way, they have stories for days to back up the bias. So, because that's really all they consume. Now that they know she didn't lie, it is why did she wait so long, or why did she take the money? She earned every cent. The prosecutor filed charges, not victims. Yes, that's another sign of ignorance. Literally, uneducated people. Right? So let me just ask in love, hey baby, Cassie, why didn't you still sound lame? The point is not that you ask in love, it's the content of what you say. Before we even worry about the context of how you said it, the content is ignorant. Educate yourself or keep listening until you get it. Thank you, Marriott. I think Marriott is a lawyer. Itaya Mio. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, let me know what your thoughts are. We will continue to cover this Diddy story, by the way. Check out this next segment. We're literally at the top of the hour. All right, so you guys said you don't know who somebody said in the back chat earlier they didn't know who Abiola Adebayo is. Abiola Adebayo, she's an actress. And she's now a podcaster, I guess. She's doing a lot of interviews. She does shows on YouTube where they are talking about life, kind of like similar to Brekete, I guess. Not really, because it's just a one-on-one, right? One-on-one, similar to Chudi, but not celebrities. I think sometimes she has celebrities like her, but they're telling some of these stories. And in this particular story, in-laws are demanding that this woman should marry her late husband's brother. So I want us to dig in a little bit deeper into this and see if there's some lessons here. Okay, the lessons cannot be as simple as nobody should be telling anybody to not marry their late brother. Nah, you're missing out if that's all the lessons you extract from this stuff. You have to listen to the words. Our words are powerful. Okay, all right. So let's see if we can dig in a little bit into this and then see if we can get some lessons out of it. But shout out to what's her name again? Abiola Ade. Did I say Abiola Adebayo? Is that what I said? Yes, Abiola Adebayo. Let's get into it.
So good to have you.
Now they will be speaking Yoruba, so I'll be doing translation. If you don't like my Yoruba translation, jump into the studio. Come and help. How's that?
Yeah. And thank you for coming to share your experience with us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything. God bless you, ma. Amen. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to meet you. Who are you? What do you do? Before we go to why you are here.
Okay. My name is DIDDY Folashade Ashake Christiana.
Wow. Ashake. All right. All right, ma. What do you do?
Okay. I'm a businesswoman.
Okay.
Hairstylist.
Okay.
And I sell Akubi.
You sell Akubi as well.
Yes.
What is
okay,
Akubi?
All right. So let's go to your story. Let's go to why you are here. Let's go to what you have come to share with us.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna make it a little faster.
Oh.
So she starts speaking Yoruba.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa.
All right, let's play some bills.
Like my grandma. She says.
All right. She said, what brought her there? She says she was Now I will translate every minute, okay? Let's keep going.
1993. Gbogbo ala mọ̀ pé north kò sí omi ní north, so àwa lọ pọn mi nígbà yẹn kò sómi nígbà yẹn mo wá lọ pọn mi bucket méjì mo gbé lọ iron bucket, so mo ṣe dé mo gbé ìkan wálé mo wá padà lọ ibi tí mo tún wá padà bọ̀ ni mo wá ń gbàrúwó àwọn èèyàn ṣáà ń sáré kiri wọ́n ṣe tì mí nìyẹn bucket yẹn ṣàbùkọ́ bá bẹ́ mi ní ẹsẹ̀ ó ṣe bẹ́ mi lẹ́sẹ̀ fún wa gbé bucket yẹn kò sómi mọ́ pẹ̀lú egbò ẹ̀jẹ̀ wá ń dà ń bẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó tó tẹ̀ bèrè pé Ṣadé kí ló ṣe kò sẹ́ni tó dáhùn àti ìgbà tí mo dé ilé ni mo wá gbọ́ SDP wọ́n ti wọlé ṣàgbé
SDP NRC Abiola
stuff mo ṣáà wọlé ìyá kan dé wà ń bẹ̀ ìyá àbàdàn ìyá bá ní Ṣadé kí ló ṣe mọ́ mi pé wọ́n ti mi ṣubú ni o wọ́n bá láwọn ọlọ́kadà.
All right, so let me give you a transition real quick. So she was a child. She used to live in the north, and then they would go at that time. Back then, there was no water. Okay, there was no water. I'll translate anyway. I guess it's a little bit low. Yeah, that's the highest I could get it. I will translate anyway. Okay, so so she said she went to fetch water, and then a bucket dropped. The bucket she was using to fetch the water because there was no, there was no pipe-borne water in the house back then in the north. So the bucket dropped and then basically caught her on her leg. And then people were, what happened? And then before she knew it, there was all kind of noise that SDP has won or something like that. So she's telling her childhood story. I'll continue. I will extract some of the meat. Let's keep going.
Mo gbọ́dọ̀ kan láàárọ̀ kí n tó lọ school tí bá dé tó dé láti school mo gbọ́dọ̀ kan mẹ́ta yẹn náà mo ṣáà ṣe ìdájọ́ kò ní.
Báwo ni ṣe jẹ́ sí?
Mo ń ṣọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ni wọ́n fi mí ṣe ń bẹ̀ bọ́ mi mọ àwọn òbí mi so woman yẹn ni mo mọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyá mi mi mọ bàbá 1993 I was 10 nígbà yẹn torí ìyá yẹn ló máa ń sọ éèjì mi fún mi mọ̀ so mo ṣáà ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ ni ṣáà gbà tó dẹ̀ dalẹ̀ torí ìkọ́bí tẹ́ mo ṣe fẹ́ wọlé gbogbo àyè ṣíṣí náà ó ṣáà ti bo ẹsẹ̀ ọ̀ fògùn tí wọ́n ṣe.
All right, so that's another minute. I want to do it 1 minute at a time. So she said it was 1993. She was 10 years old at the time. Obviously, 1993 was when SDP Abiola was winning and stuff like that. So she said flies would come on the legs and stuff like that. And she was living with somebody. She was being a house girl, basically a maid, okay, with a family at the time. So let's keep going.
tó tún dàrọ tí mo wọlé lálẹ́ lọ bá ní kí n lọ bá àwọn tó ń ta iṣu kí n ra iṣu jẹ ńgbà yẹn wọ́n ṣàbàmì ní àràjọ mi kò béèrè pé kí ló ṣe mí kò sọ kọ́kọ́ ọkọ ẹ̀ náà dé èyí náà béèrè so èmi náà dẹ̀ ti gbà pé èyí ń ṣe ènì náà gbà tó tún dàrọ ọjọ́ kejì bọ́ ṣe tún ní kí n lọ pọn omi yẹn àti 5 ladẹ̀ tí máa ń jí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọdé aṣáṣe kò tó bí ọjọ́ mẹ́ta bí ọjọ́ kẹta bí má kan ṣe wá nìyẹn mo tún lọ pọn omi yẹn dé mo ṣe wá kọjá nìyẹn ṣáà ẹ̀ka sọ mo ṣàkọjá mo ṣe gbá etí mi nìyẹn pé bàbá mi nìyẹn pé kíkúlẹ̀ kí wọ́n bá ní
ta ló gbá etí
yẹn màmá bó ṣe ní dádì mi nìyẹn pé kíkílẹ̀ kúnkún wọn bó ṣe ní kí n kílẹ̀ kúnkún wọn pé dádì mi nìyẹn báyìí mo kọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ké ni wọ́n wí pé dádì ṣé pé mo ní bàbá so mo ṣáṣe wá ń ké yẹn mi ṣáà rí kíkí yẹn kí mo ṣáà ké bí bàbá ṣáṣe wá wí pé ẹ̀kọ́ ọmọ ìgbọ́n wá pọ̀ bó ṣe ní kí n lọ di ẹrù mi nìyẹn ṣàkàṣàkà mo ṣáà di.
All right, so that's another minute. So she also talked about how she used to fetch water, a lot of water from wherever they were fetching water, and she had to fill a lot of drums, basically a lot of work for a child, a 10-year-old child at the time. And she kept nursing the wound on her leg at the time as well. And then one day, as some man came into the house or somebody, and then the next thing, she received a massive slap on her face. And they said, "Can't you kneel down? That's your father." And then, for the first time, she met her father. She didn't know that she even had a father at the time. But for the first time, she met her father. Am I doing well? Marriott, let's keep going.
Meanwhile, kí n tó lọ mò ń lọ school ní ibẹ̀ yẹn ní government school mò ń lọ lọ́dọ̀ ìyá yẹn. Ìgbà tí màá dé wọ́n wá mú mi kúrò ní Kano àwa lọ sí Jigawa state ní Birnin Kudu. Ìgbà tí mo débẹ̀ yàrá kan èrò rẹ̀ nulẹ̀ lọ́ba ní mọ́mì mi rè àwọn àbúrò mi márùn-ún rè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi rè and then ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn was a sickler ó ní àwọn kòkòrò ní ara lọ́ba lá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn kí àwọn àbúrò mi lélẹ̀ mọ́mì mi ṣáwó ìyá yẹn ṣáwọlé ṣáwó mi wọlé wọ́n ti di Haúsá tán bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣáà ní jẹ́ túwó pẹ̀lú kíni normally so bọ́ wá tó bí 1 week wọ́n á rí i pé situation tí mo bá níbí yìí ó tún wọ́ sí ju tí mo ti ń bọ̀ lọ ìyá yìí ọmọ méje báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe bàbá ń ṣe mẹkáníìkì yẹn kò dàbí mo ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí because.
All right, here we go. So again, she found out when she received that slap, she kept crying and crying and crying and crying. And then eventually she cried to the point that the guy was like, well, this girl that's crying, maybe I should just take her back with me because that's the father, the biological father, right? And so then they went from Kano to Jigawa state, she said. And then they ended up in a place and they said, well, these are your siblings, about 5 of them. And then this is your mother. She met her mother apparently for the first time or something like that. And then just all kind of, it's basically, yes, poverty. And she was like, wow, like it's actually worse here where because she was crying because she probably wanted to leave the other place. But then she found out that it's actually worse where she found herself now. Let's continue. Story. Let's keep going.
Mo ti gbọ́n ju èjì mi lọ so mo wá ń bá màmá sọ̀rọ̀ pé kí ló sun yín sí báwo lè ṣe máa bí ọmọ tó pọ̀ báyìí wọ́n mi ní ṣé máa padà sí ibi tí mo ti ń bọ̀ bọ̀ nǹkan tó wà rò ní pé ìyá mi náà tún pé bàbá mi ní sórí tí mo ti ń bọ̀ ní sí èní ibẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tí mo lè dà náà níbẹ̀ ọmọdé ká ní mo mọ̀ nígbà tó padà sọ bí àwọn ni ò bá sọ mi bọ̀ mo wá dìsà pé mo fẹ́ dúró ti àwọn mo ṣàwà dúró má mi ń tàkàrà mo máa kiri àkàrà mo máa ṣe bàtà máa dé school mo ti wà ní primary 5 ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó kó tẹ́síkìlà ó wà primary 4 dádì tó bí mi tó wá mú mi ó lóun ò lè gbà kí n sínú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ní school wọ́n dá padà sí primary 3 so ibẹ̀ ni mo tó kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ pé no wonder tó fi mí lẹ̀ sí ọ̀hún ìgbà tí mo dé school Zango primary school ní Blinipodo Bayan station.
All right, another minute. Okay, so she told the mother, because she met her mother for the first time now. She's like, why would you have all these 7 kids? What are you doing with 7 kids? And then the mother was like, I beg you, if you want to go back to where you're coming from. She said that to her own daughter. Now she said she was quite a little bit more mature than her age at the time. She was like, again, around 10 years old. But anyway, she said, well, they said these are my parents. So these are my biological parents. Maybe they would love me better here. So she decided to stay. When it was time to start school, she was supposed to be in primary 4, right? The father now said, well, your elder brother is in primary 4 or 5. You cannot be ahead of your elder brother. You need to go back to primary 3. Okay, elementary. If you're in America, it's called elementary here, right? Primary 3, primary education 3. And then she ended up she's basically demoted back to 2 years back, basically. But yes, Tales by Moonlight. Now, do you enjoy them? Who here does not understand Yoruba? Everybody understand Yoruba, right? Is anybody here that doesn't understand Yoruba? Should I just play it? I bet some of you don't understand Yoruba. Honestly, we need to express gratitude every day. Some people are actually going through real poverty. It's sad. It's real. It's real. Hey, Shola, good to see you. The mother not taking accountability. Shake my head. Accountability? She has 7 kids. You think that person is going to take accountability from you? What is that? Is that money? Hey, yeah, 3rd grade. Thank you, Jerry. 3rd grade. Yeah. Yep. My replay folks don't. Oh, okay. Chidima, do you understand Yoruba? You understand Yoruba? Let's keep going. Shout out to, again, Abiola Adebayo for this content. Let's keep going. Oh, by the way, she's on YouTube. It's on the screen. If you want to watch her stuff, it's not always Yoruba like this, but she does a lot of Yoruba stuff. All right, so let's go back.
So wọn lè dá mi padà sí 3 pé kó jọ ó ní rárá kò gbà wọn ṣàní kí n wà 3 mo wà 3 mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọn primary 5 ìgbà tó di yẹ́ tó tẹ̀lé wọn fi mí sí 4 bàbá mi ò gbà wọn ní táwọn ò bá ti dá mi padà pé àwọn ò ní san owó ibẹ̀ mo wà 4 ní máa yẹn ti wá kó mi mọ́ àwọn tó fẹ́ ṣe common entrance so common entrance yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ lẹ́ni tó ṣe fún mi ọ̀tọ̀ lẹ́ni tó ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ mo ṣáà tún pass ìgbà tó di 1996 mo ti wà nílé mi lọ school mọ́ mi ṣe kọ̀ọ̀kan ara àwọn malam láti àwọn tó wà educated ní north ó ṣe ní àwọn máa mú Ṣadé mọ́ àwọn ọmọ bọ̀ máa change orúkọ mi sí muslim name wọ́n fún mi ní Alimadao Ṣadé David Alimadao so mo ṣáà join so bí dáàdì mi ṣe láwọn travel ní àwọn lọ Kánò padà àwọn fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́.
Okay, another minute. So she said the father insisted that she would stay in 3rd grade primary 3, and even though the teachers really took a liking to her, they liked her because, you know, among a bunch of northern kids, she could speak pidgin English, and I guess she could communicate. They liked her, and then she was doing even primary 5 work, even in primary 3. By the time she got to primary 4, the teachers were like, you know, screw what that father said, that they will make her do the common entrance, which is the placement test one of the placement tests, if I remember well, that you take to get into secondary school, what you might call high school if you're in America, right? So she took that, but anyway, by 1996 she was done and she was now home, right? And then the father has now decided also to move back to Kano again. So she's telling the story. Let's keep going. Oh, she also talked about they changed her name to a Muslim name, so they kind of packed her with some other kids to go into a government college. All right, so let's keep going.
1996 school for a whole time. Mi ní mú kọ́kọ́ dání lọ àpótí aṣọ àti ìwé nìkan ni màá gbé lọ tí bá ti dé school màá lọ máa ṣe àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ fáwọn tó bá ní owó tán ní oúnjẹ tán lè fún mi ní oúnjẹ ni máa ń share so àwọn èèyàn máa ń bá tò so wọ́n ṣàtìwá mọ̀ mi school àfọṣọ àtú yàrá àwọn senior yẹn ṣe àwọn ss kìíní máa tú yàrá wọn ṣe wọ́n fún mi lóúnjẹ wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣáà yímọ mo jẹ́ stu mo ṣe wá dé padà sílé mọ́mí mi náà wọ́n ní owó school fee 750 naira owó government school àwọn òní kí n jókòó mi ṣe lọ school mọ́mí kú dẹ̀ mọ́ wí jẹ́ stu ni mo ti stop.
All right, so in GSS2 she had to stop. Remember, she ended up in going to government school, but the only thing they will give her is just, I think she said her clothes and something else. I forgot now, but she said just her clothing, and then she will have to go and work for other students in school so she can eat. Eventually, the mom said she cannot afford 750 naira at the time, and then she's just gonna have to sit at home, and that's how she stopped school altogether. All right, let's keep going.
Stop. That's what mo stop ní JSS2. Wọ́n wá tún mú mi, ọmọdọ̀ á tún yá. Wọ́n wá mú mi láti ibẹ̀ wọ́n lọ ṣọ́mọdọ̀. Àwa padà sí Kogi láti Kano àwa padà sí Kogi. Bàtà dé Kogi 1998 wọ́n ṣe tún mú mi lọ sí Abuja nìyẹn. Gbogbo mi làwọn ewa ìkaaro. Gbogbo bẹ̀yẹn mo ti ṣọ́mọdọ̀. Àwọn tó mọ̀ mi, wọ́n mọ̀ mi. Mo ṣọ́mọdọ̀ níbẹ̀ náà, ibẹ̀ náà mo tún wá ríyàn nínú àwọn family daddy mi tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tọ́pẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní airport. Wọ́n ní àwọn èèyàn kan ní ìdọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ tẹ́gbẹ́ wọn sọ 6,000 naira per month and you make it. Wọ́n ṣe gbìyànjú wá sí kò ní ẹni 2001 ní aṣọ́mọdọ̀ ní ọjọ́ ta ní Fadayomi lẹ́yìn station ní 2001 ní mo dẹ́kọ̀ tí mo aṣọ́mọdọ̀ tọ́dẹ̀ sọ 6,000 naira yẹn fún mi ní òótọ́.
All right, so she was moved around quite a bit to work as a maid with a lot of family. I think she mentioned Kogi. She also mentioned Abuja, and then eventually in 2001 she ended up in Lagos, in Ojota, somewhere in Ojota in Lagos, to be a house girl, a maid. That somebody promised that they were paying 6,000 naira, I guess, per month, and then she could work, and that's how she ended up in Lagos. Ajibola says, Ola, in those days you couldn't move from one school to another without a transfer certificate from your father. I can relate. I remember that too, funny enough. I remember that. Thank you so much, Ajibola. Thank you. Chidima says, thank you for translating. Oh, so you needed it, eh? Poverty is a bastard. No child should live like this. Okay, think about it. She said she was 10 years old in 1993. She's quite young. That means she's still 39. Okay, maybe 41. What? She's 41 now, right? She's very young. Can you believe that the 41-year-old woman would have gone through all of that? Some of you don't know, right? Because she had a whole complete different experience. And these things kind of follow kids all the way through the rest of their life. These experiences, these traumatic experiences will follow them for the rest of their lives. They will make decisions accordingly. The world is moving faster than what they're exposed to. The effect of this kind of stuff is a lot. Okay, it's beyond. Okay, it's beyond description. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. When she got to Lagos.
Gbogbo mo ṣe wà Kánò kò sẹ́ni tó fọkàn mi kò sẹ́ni tó ṣe mí kò sẹ́ni tó ṣe mí wọ́n gbà tí mo dé Ọjọ́ta tèmi náà mọ̀ pé mo ṣe wo Èkó mo wá dàbí ẹran fún ológbò bẹ́lẹ̀ bá wá ọyàn yìí ní rabata bí tọ̀hún bá wá ìdí ni ẹ̀yìn jù ni aṣáájú máa ṣe débi pé wọ́n tún ná mi wọ́n máa náyàn pé òkè tí bá ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó bá gbà fún iye báyìí ni màá gbà.
no ṣé níbi tẹ́ ti ń ṣiṣẹ́
níbi tí mo ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́jọ́ta.
no irú iṣẹ́ wo lẹ ń ṣe ṣé bí ilé ni
ọmọdọ̀ ni mo ń ṣe mo bá wọn ta oúnjẹ.
ok ọmọdọ̀ olóúnjẹ
oh okay I understand. pé so iye tó bá ti máa wọlé bá ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n máa gba iye báyìí ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run á fi ìyá Èkìtì kan tó wá fi ṣe gàrí tíra fún yẹn ló wá pè mí pé Ṣadé.
All right, so she ended up in Lagos and she started working again as a house girl, but this time around she's working for somebody and I don't know what they were selling. But she said all the while she was in Abuja, Kogi, all those places, nobody touched her. But in Lagos, she felt like meat. Like meat in the meat in the how do you say it? Like meat in the eyes of like a wild cat, like lion, right? Like food, right? He said this one, like look at breasts, look at Bokoto, like look at eyes, like people were just touching, and some were even negotiating just to sleep with her. Okay, we're getting there. All right. Myra says she doesn't look her age. Too much struggle. She is used to poor treatment. Did her siblings stop school or just her? much. Only God knows, right? They probably did. She's probably better off than most of the siblings. Go figure, right? So she hasn't said yet, right? Thank you, D-Love. Any small song you can do in the chat will help. Let's keep going.
Ní gbogbo time kí ló máa ń ṣe fún yín? Do they
wọ́n ti ẹ̀dí mi bá sùn. Ọwọ́ títẹ̀ ni.
Wọ́n máa tẹ̀yìn lára.
In fact, wọ́n fẹ́ ta mi kò lè máa dárúkọ, wọ́n fẹ́ ta yí ọ̀tá mi pa. Títẹ̀ ni. Má tún sọ fẹ́ni tó ń fi mí tì. Pé bọ̀dá yìí pé tí n bá ti lọ ní àárọ̀ pé wọ́n jẹun gbádùn tó bá ti súnmọ́ mi báyìí pé àwọn fẹ́ oúnjẹ. Wọ́n máa fọwọ́ ra mí ni.
Runes loads a complete serving of fruits, veggies, adaptogens, vitamins, minerals, super mushrooms.
Wọ́n ní àwa gbára dúró ní ara ọjà ní. Wàá ṣe yàkàyàkà mọ́ wọn wá ṣe.
Ẹni tẹ́ ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ ní wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́. Ní 2001.
Ní 2001.
2001.
Yeah, that time.
Ní 2020. Yékìtì kan lọ́nà wá lò fún mi. Wọ́n ní àwọn kan ṣe. Ṣé wàá kọ́ṣẹ́? Ṣé wàá ṣe mí máa kọ́ṣẹ́? Ní ṣùgbọ́n olè bá kúrò bí tó bá rí di gidi tí mo máa ń 2001 yẹn ní August because March ni mo dé. So mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ 6 months.
All right, let's do another minute. So she kept talking about that a bunch of men would just touch her, that she's not sleeping with them, but they would touch, they touch every part of her body. And she even complained to the person she was working for, and that person was like, well, that's part of business. Like, you have to, like, you know, how do you say that in English? Like, you have to, you know, it's customer service, basically. Like, you have to allow them, you know, show them so that they will, you know. And then one particular auntie was like, why don't you do something for yourself? Do you want to learn some handiwork, you know, like apprenticeship, like some kind of vocational stuff, you know, maybe like learning how to be a tailor, fashion designer. You know, they used to do that back then. You know, instead of going to school, you can go and learn as an apprentice with already operating store, right, or shop. And that person was now saying, do you want to learn that? And that's where we are right now. Let's keep going.
60,000 and also, but the August mo ṣe pàdé ọkọ mi. So ó ṣàbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé òun dé like mo fẹ́ fẹ́ mi ni o torí òun wà àti broke àbí wọ́n pè.
Ó wà tó kan.
Wọ́n ní òun wáyàwó pé òun tẹ̀ fẹ́ dúnàdúrà kankan mọ́. Pé òun dẹ̀ fẹ́ fẹ́ mi, òun ti gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn mi ní gbogbo bí.
Ní the same 2001.
Wọ́n ní òun fẹ́ fẹ́ mi pé wọ́n lè gbà wọ́n. Mo ti sọ pé bá mọ̀ pé máa tọ́jú mi torí mo ṣàwádìí tó fi lè rescue ayé mi. Pé tó bá ti mọ̀ pé máa tọ́jú mi, mo dẹ̀ sọ fún Yékìtì ìgbà yẹn ó dẹ̀ mi pé ó da pé òun mọ̀ nípa ṣáàgbà ní ìpàdé. Ìgbà tó di 2002, a lọ ṣe introduction.
Tani mo fẹ́ lọ bá. Ní 2002, you should be like 19 years old.
Kò sí ní mo ṣe lọ́wọ́ mi. A lọ ṣe introduction. Torí kò síbi tí mo fẹ́ lọ. Ní ilẹ̀ bí mi lára. So ó ṣàtẹ̀lé mi délùú. Ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ délùú, ó dẹ̀ ní ṣé ó máa fẹ́, ṣé ó máa.
All right, so let's catch up real quick. So in 2001, right, while she was contemplating maybe she can go and become an apprentice for a shop, right, a one-man shop somewhere, she met a guy, somebody who ended up becoming her husband. And the guy was like, no, I'm pretty sincere. I want to marry you. I like you. I've heard a lot about you. I want to marry you. And this was back in August 2001. And then she was like, she needed somebody to take care of her. Anyway, she had nobody, no family, all the way in Kano, Jigawa, Abuja, multiple households, being house girls all over the place. As an 18, 19-year-old girl at the time, she decided to settle to marry. At this point, are you guys able to predict the rest of this story? Right? Are you guys able to predict the rest of this story? Like pray, like pray. Jesus. She was assaulted, harassed. Yeah, so from my primary school, St. Martin, then broke into 3. Mine became St. Francis, just by Aquinas College. Wait, are you talking about Aquinas College in Akure? I used to play cricket with year 2 of Aquinas when I was in primary 5. This was before GSS and SS. Definitely. That was, if you're talking about Aquinas, that was when Aquinas was still what, green and yellow? Because when I entered Aquinas, I went to Aquinas GSS 1. It was my set that we changed the uniform to white on white. If we're talking about the same Aquinas, I don't think there's any other Aquinas anywhere else. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, the husband. She's not with the husband.
tó máa ṣe tán tó máa lóhùn wọ́ ti òun pé sókè máa wùlẹ̀ sọ pé bọ̀t ẹni iṣẹ́ tí n bá fẹ́ kọ́ pé òun máa fi mí síṣẹ́ ó dẹ̀ fi mí síṣẹ́ ó ṣe freedom fún mi kódà ó ṣe patí ó dẹ̀ ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀bù fún mi kí bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣẹ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni ìgbà tó di 2000.
Wait, go back a little bit.
pé òun lè dẹ̀ lé rányàn lọ sí school tó máa ṣe tán tó máa lóhùn wọ́ ti òun pé sókè máa wùlẹ̀ sọ pé bọ̀t ẹni iṣẹ́ tí n bá fẹ́ kọ́ pé òun máa fi mí síṣẹ́ ó dẹ̀ fi mí síṣẹ́ ó ṣe freedom fún mi kódà ó ṣe patí ó dẹ̀ ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀bù fún mi kí bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣẹ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni ìgbà tó di 2005 lọ́nà fún wa ní ọmọkùnrin ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣàbíamọ òkè ni mo bí mo fọ́n fún báyìí àṣọ ń retí kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe abiyamọ sódà máa lè mọ ìdàkejì n tó pè ní marriage because gbogbo I love àṣeyàn yẹn ní foundation tó fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ bọ́ ìgbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bímọ ó change mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́.
All right, so the guy married her. They did a wedding in 2002. The guy said, please don't talk to me about school. I don't want to hear it. Okay. And then you go to school. Okay. And then you end up in school and then you come and be acting like you're bigger than us. The guy said, please, I don't want to hear anything about school. But if you want to be an apprentice, I can send you, I'll pay for it. You go be an apprentice. And then she became an apprentice. Actually sent her to go pay for everything. She actually did freedom. They call it freedom. Eventually, they started calling it graduation back then. Yes. So some of you think I'm lost. No, I remember. Freedom. Okay. And then he even did the whole party and did everything. Paid for everything. But then in 2005, she started having babies. She started becoming abiyamo. And then she started to see the other side of the story. Let's get into the other side of the story. What happened after she started having babies? According to her, this guy was reserving certain things until after she started having babies. What was he reserving? Let's keep going.
Nínú ìpọ̀ ó máa nà mí máa lọ sápamọ́ sílé yàn á dẹ̀ lọ sílé yàn pé tó bá mú mi síta wọ́n á bẹ́ wọn ládàá àwọn yẹn wọ́n máa ní bọ́ọ̀ká o wọ́n lọ kọ́kọ́ yẹn o wọ́n máa lé mi síta ni pé ó yá máa lọ second born gbàtí máa bí second born ọmọ 2 weeks wọ́n fún ní pick milk náà fún mi ó nà mí ó lé mi síta ló tilẹ̀kùn mọ́mí ẹ̀dẹ̀ wà nulẹ̀ wọ́n fọmọ yẹn ní pick milk mo dẹ̀ wá níbi tí mo sábà mọ́ ọyàn mi dẹ̀ ń sẹ̀ wọ́n láti lọ ìgbà tí máa fi dé tí máa fọmọ lọ́yàn bí inú ọmọ ṣe dàrú nìyẹn ọmọ yẹn láǹdì ní hospital ọlọ́run ni ò pọ̀ ọmọ mi lọ mo ṣàn farada tí bá tún pé mọ́mí tí bá tún fún wọn wá ní ó máa farada ni ó máa ṣe bàbá tó fi wálẹ̀ tó lọ ní 1996 dáàdì mi dé ní 2008 kó tó dé màmí ti gbogbo ẹ̀ ti lọ so gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ̀ tí ó ti dojú pọ̀.
All right, let's do a quick catch up. So the guy started beating her. The guy will assault her so much she will run into another neighbor's house, and then she will go there and say, if you don't bring her out, right, they will bring her out and it will continue. And then at one point she ran away, and when she ran away she had a baby. She had a toddler, maybe even a baby infant, right, because she was also breastfeeding, and they would give the baby pig milk. She said somebody was living with him, a sister or something like that. They would give the baby pig milk that the baby the baby got sick. The baby landed in the hospital while she was lactating. I don't know if that's the politically correct way to say that, but you get what I mean, right? And the baby ended up in the hospital, and then she said the father that left them in 1996 to go back to, to Kano, that man came back in 2008 in Nigeria, in that small country. Things they shallow. Oh Lord, wait? Are you guys predicting already? Switch and bait. I knew you guys would love this. Hit the like button now. Hit the like button. Peking don't come. Oh, no, I'm not that old. Stop. Freedom care. Is it apprenticeship or slavery? It's freedom. It's freedom from apprenticeship. MOP asks us to predict. I can predict he is much older than her and became Mongo Park. Yes, predict. Let's keep going. Some of these things are predictable, so it is what it is. That's why I say, hey, let's stop pretending like you can avoid these kind of things. You can avoid these kind of things because they are predictable. All right. So let's keep going. The father came back in 2008, right? Before he came back, her mother had died. Okay.
So she has nobody.
She has no family. Remember, she was away from the family for a long time before she was 10 years old and then came back home and then she discovered she had all the siblings, right? So when she says she has nobody, believe that, because all of your cousins that you know today, right, even if you're not talking to them, you know them because you're still, you see them, you go to the village, or or you know of them, or they come over sometimes, you know their mom, you're still close, that's why you know them. Imagine if you were house girls for people for a long time, and then at 10 years old you discover that some people are your parents. And just imagine that. We're talking about identity, right? She probably has, look at this woman, is actually pretty. She has no sense of identity. Okay, this is how she ended up with that kind of husband in the first place. So far right now, you can pick up some lessons already. Okay, parenting. Okay, parenting, understanding that we are formed long before what you can see today. Right, there's a lot of things that goes into the person you know today, or your sense of identity, or the way you reason, your mindset. Okay, your mind is the number one asset outside of self, right? That's your number one asset. How it was formed is a lot of is the driving force behind a lot of your decision making, even the way you parent, even the kind of relationship you create or you attract. We never talk about any of those things. What we want to talk about is what we see on the surface, and then we want to label them a particular name because it feels better in that moment in time. It also exonerates you, right? Whereas all of this is just try to understand that, hey, if you have a certain type of mindset that continues to attract certain types of experience, it might not be a bad idea to settle in, to assess that and say, hey, what made me? Who am I as a person? Before I even worry about what kind of decision I'm making today or how I see life, who are you? That's why we talk about self-awareness. Are you self-aware to just say, hey, I'm a human being, something formed the way I think about issues. And if it's not working for me, what does the scripture say about renewing your mind? This is a big deal, right? So we're covering this. I'm covering this right now because I see it as an opportunity that, hey, just know that you didn't just fall out of the skies. What was your childhood like? All right. Let's keep going. No, before I keep going, let me see. Dealer says craziness. He just left that and left his children. Yep. The same guy that made her repeat. Ajibola says, or Miss Ajibola, she says, as an older husband, you know you can become jealous of a young wife. As a younger wife, you know you can become resentful, yes, and vindictive. And she's a fine woman. She has Bobby and all this kind of stuff. People were touching her. What if she snapped into like, all these people touching me and trying to negotiate? I can make money. How do you think some people end up becoming Oloshos? You think they just want to be evil? No. Life will do that to some ladies. Many of them is the background. It's a means to an end. It's survivor. This is to everybody in the back who are older than thou. It's survivor. No, this is not so you can free them. It's to free yourselves. You might be too hard on yourself sometimes, when all you really need to do is reassess. Why is it that I think the way I think? Why is it that I'm creating? Ask more whys. Stop making conclusions. Mr. Jare, Mr. Ajibola, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Of course, when you say Aquinas is a boys' college. Lord help me. But now we know, since I know that you went to Aquinas, now we know. I will always remember. Oh, let's keep going.
After tí mo bí ọmọ mẹ́rin kan 2013 wọ́n máa ń sọ pé ó máa ń ní girlfriend mi ìrírí mi kárí but 2013 ni ọjọ́ tí mo fojú rí mo dẹ̀ ní èmi ò gbọ́ kí wọ́n ṣe eré lèmi àbí ọ̀run kí ọkùnrin kó kọ́ ọmọ lọlé àlè ọba tẹ̀ ń yàlè a gbọ́ pé wọ́n nìkan but kó tó wá kọ́ ọmọ bíbí inú ẹ̀ kó tó wá lọ kẹ́ tó wá máa jẹ́ kẹ́ máa mú un bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe mo dẹ̀ wait.
All right, first of all, they do. But let me tell you what she just said, okay? So people kept telling her, she would tell people, I mean, some sisters, and they were like, you have to be patient. You have to be patient with him, right? And that's how she did it all the way till she had 4 kids for this man. All the while, people would tell her that this man has girlfriends outside. That this man has girlfriends and, you know, and has concubines and side chicks and stuff like that. But she had never seen it until 2013. And when she found out that this guy would take his kids, their 4 kids, would take them to his girlfriend's house. And they will be eating and dining and stuff. And she's like, it's not done. I was like, it is done. I've seen it being done, okay? Multiple times. People can be reckless like that, okay? But some people do that. So that's how she found out that this guy was also sleeping around. Let's keep going.
Mo fi jẹ̀bi láyé. Mi understand picture wo lẹ yà. Wọ́n wà ní ibi tí mo ti bá wọn. Oh, okay. Mo bá òun báyìí, ó jókòó báyìí. Obìnrin tó gbé yẹn jókòó báyìí. Àwọn ọmọ mi méjèèjì jókòó bá wọn jẹun. Lèmi wọ bẹ̀ ni mo bá. Ní ibi tó ti ń ta oúnjẹ. Oh, okay, wọ́n gbé wọn lọ jẹun. Lèmi bá wọn bẹ̀ mọ́ àná. Tẹ́yìn bá tẹ̀ ń ṣe kíní tó yẹ kẹ́ kọ́ wọn dání wá. Mo dẹ̀ mú fóònù adé ìyá pé torí mi rí rẹ ẹ̀dà nínú church CAC. Kí ni ká ti gbọ́ pé ẹ̀dà ní girlfriend. Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ti máa ń sọ bọ̀ mi ò rí so mi ìgbàgbọ́ until tí mo wá rí. Ọmọ mi last month mo gbé dání wọ just 1 year 7 months then. All right, so she caught them while they were eating out. So he went out, he took his babies out with the girlfriend, and she caught them while they were eating, and she decided to take pictures as evidence, right? And that was what she did wrong according to him. Took pictures, and then she seems quite surprised because the guy is also an elder in the CAC. Huh. CAC don't collect.
I never expected it.
I go to CAC now. This guy is an elder in the CAC, and then she's shocked that an elder in CAC will have side concubines.
He shock you.
Let's keep going. So she said the youngest was like very young infant that was also with them, and the girlfriend was actually carrying the baby too. Keep in mind, we're talking about 2013. 1 year 7 months. 1 year 7 months at the time. She said she was even at the naming ceremony. Things like this are happening in Nigeria. She was even at the naming ceremony and she didn't know. And that one now took the baby while they were going to the back and forth. Wait, it's too much going on. Let me finish the minute. I'll see if I need to go back, okay?
So nobody could talk to him because he has the money. So me ready fún ẹjọ́ ẹ̀sùn. Ó ṣe kúrò lẹ́yìn. Láti August ni mi ò fojú kọ bàbá ọmọ mi báyìí until December.
All right, so here we go. All right, so while they were eating, she caught them at the eatery, right? And then the babies were sitting down, and then the girlfriend was holding one of the babies, and she stretched her hands out to take her baby, and the girlfriend just pushed her hand away, and that's how they started fighting. That's how they started tussling back and forth, right? And then when the husband came home, the husband was like, well, we're hiding it for you. All we're asking you for is for you to dress. You know how you sit down? Somebody said dress. In Nigerian English, you said dress. That means move over. We want to sleep. We want to sit. That all we're asking you to do is just dress small so that somebody else can sit. Don't act like you've never heard this kind of stories. So I've heard this kind of stories all my life. It happens. Oh yeah, you didn't go to Aquinas, you played racket with them. You did say that. Thank you for the correction. Right? And anyway, the husband now, this is the elder in a CSC, and then now they're asking now, did you tell anybody at the church? I'm not sure what that's going to do. It's a full-blown adult man. He can do whatever he wants to do, including act like a mad person to his family. It is what it is. Let's keep going. So he left the house.
So that I want to settle láti family house. Ìyẹn ni mo fi wá lọ sílé ní 2013 yẹn. Pé bóyá máa settle pé ó máa níyànjú. But ìgbà tí màá rí oníṣẹ́ tó máa jẹ́ àwọn human rights lawyer ni mo rí ọ̀nà fẹ́ gbọmọ lọ́wọ́ mi. Pé kí n make demand nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kí kọ́ ọmọlẹ̀ kí n máa bá tèmi lọ. Ọmọ mẹ́rin. Human rights lawyer láti Lagos State. Wọ́n wá sílùú wa. Ní year wo lẹ́sọ̀? I'm talking about 2013. Wọ́n wá sí Kogi State. So àwa wá sí Kobana. Mi lè kọ́ ọmọlẹ̀.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick. So the guy left the house, okay, after the fight, and then he just left. He never came back. And then they now met in church so that the church can help them settle whatever was going on. And then he said he doesn't want to be any part of it, and he doesn't want her anymore. The guy said bye. So she decided. They now advised her at the church, maybe she should go to her family house. Where is her family house again? Where is that? Is that Kogi or in Jigawa? I don't remember now anymore. Somewhere far away. So she decided to travel back to her hometown. I'm guessing she had the baby or babies. I'm not sure. No, I think she had two. I'm not sure. But anyway, after that, she just saw a message from him, the human rights organization, I guess, and they were asking her to give them the baby, that the guy wants his babies, that she should tell them exactly how much she wants and go our own way, but they want all of the babies. Welcome to the real world. This is Nigeria, okay? This was Nigeria in 2013. I think less and less of this kind of stuff is happening though, because they're getting more enlightened, but it's still very bad for a lot of people. Let's keep going.
Gbogbo ọmọ kéèsì wá wà ńbẹ̀ wọ́n wá ní òkè kí mo fẹ́ ṣe òkè ká pín ní méjì méjì tàbí kí ìjọba kúkú gba gbogbo ọmọ kéèsì wá wà ńbẹ̀ why Ọlọ́run fẹ́ mi mọ́ òun ò dẹ̀ lè fọmọ òun lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú mi òun ò dẹ̀ rẹ́dí láti fún mi ní owó láti fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ báwọn lọ́ọ̀yà ń ṣe dáhùn pé ṣé máa kúkú kọ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ fún mo ní mi lè kọ́ ọmọ lẹ̀ wọ́n ní òkè ká mú méjì méjì wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ mú first born àti second born kémi mú third born pẹ̀lú last born ìyẹn which is ọmọ 1 year 7 months yẹn mi ìdẹ̀ níṣẹ́ mi lábọ̀ ó ti shop ó ti gbogbo ẹ̀ òun ò dẹ̀ rẹ́dí láti fún mi ní owó láti fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ báwọn lọ́ọ̀yà ń ṣe dáhùn pé ṣé máa kúkú kọ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ fún mo ní mi lè kọ́ ọmọ lẹ̀ wọ́n ní òkè ká mú méjì méjì wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ mú first born àti second born kémi mú third born pẹ̀lú last born ìyẹn which is ọmọ 1 year 7 months yẹn mi ìdẹ̀ níṣẹ́ mi lábọ̀ ó ti shop ó ti gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣàní òkè kí n máa lọ pé àwọn máa ní ojú ẹ̀ lílọ tí mo lọ mo ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí mo bá rè kó lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta tí mo wá pé ẹ̀sà mo lẹ bá bá kéṣù ọdẹ wọ́n á tún ní kí n lọ àwọn máa pè mí ó rí i pé wọ́n máa pè mí làwà tọkọ mi fi kú ọkọ mi kú.
All right, let's catch up. Uncle Beno, well done. Let's catch up. All right, so now the human rights people say, well, they asking for the baby. She says she doesn't want to give up the babies. Human rights people are like, well, why don't you take 2 babies? And he would take 2 babies. And it became like an argument. He didn't want that. She said she didn't want to leave her babies. Okay. He already shut down the shop. He shut down the shop where she was doing business, I guess. Took all the access to everything away from her. And now she has to go back and forth from her village to Lagos to continue to, they said they will handle the case, going back to and forth to human rights. Honestly, I'm hearing that for the first time, that human rights are responsible for that. I guess human rights are responsible for children custody. Is that like a family court or something? I'm not sure. But anyway, they're the one trying to help them sort that. So she will go back and forth between Lagos and her village. And this was what they were sorting out when the man died. The man died. Her husband died. Human rights selling babies, that's human left. I think the man was very busy. Man that couldn't manage his affairs adequately, It happens. Yep. So the man passed away. Let's keep going. All right. So as you can see, this woman has not, based on her story, right? She has not had any rest ever. I don't think she's ever had a chance to be a child. Let's keep going.
December 28, 2014. Kogi, 29. What is your coming?
Okay, so her village is Kogi. So December 28, 2000 and what is it?
28, 2014.
2014.
Kogi, 29. What is your coming?
December 28, between Christmas and New Year's, 2014, the guy died. By the time she got to Lagos on December 29, they had buried him. Let's keep going.
I'm not tiny. It's family members.
Our dear.
What should be Christian?
Christian, what is it?
The family member had buried him. Okay, so she didn't have the babies. She went to the human rights office. They brought the babies to her there.
Are you having trouble trying to keep
All
up
right.
with the professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
So they now said the family now met her at the human rights office where they brought the babies, and they now said, what do we do now? Remember, they had already buried the husband. They now said, what do we do now? And the family now suggested, what's the English for Shinyolokpo? The family now suggested that the late husband's younger brother, his name is Toyin, should marry her, get with her. Okay, now that story is going to expand a little bit more as time goes on. But basically, the family is suggesting like, hey, just marry your husband's younger brother. They did a lot of that in Yoruba land back in the days. It's called Shinyolokpo. I don't know if there's an English word for it, but what it's essentially somebody inheriting their older brother, sometimes inheriting their father's wife. That's essentially what that is. This was happening in 2014. Not that has happened in any of my family since the 60s. I think that's probably the latest, maybe 70s. This was 2014. Okay. Family members are mad. We're in everybody. You never see anything. These stories. I generally don't like listening to this kind of stories because they're just quite consuming, and I think a lot of people internalize them to potentially becoming their reality, even if it doesn't really exist. You know. Is that the word, Mr. Ajibola? Betrothed? That's what the betrothed. Let me see. Betrothed. Wahala. Betrothed definition: a person that someone has promised to marry or has been promised to as a marriage partner. They have a different word for it here. I don't know, Sha. But it's inheritance. You inherit somebody's wife, your older sibling's wife. Okay. Mario said, what kind of sick family is this? They are everywhere. They are everywhere. They might be.
I never expected it.
They're everywhere in Nigeria. Anyway, let's keep going. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I appreciate you all. All right. Let's keep going.
But kí ni reason tó ń sọ pé kí àbúrò ọkọ yín ṣù yín ló kókó fẹ́ yín?
Torí property. Tọ́rọ̀ ọkọ mi ní. Ilé iṣẹ́ ọkọ mi ló ní. Tó yẹ pé lónìí lọkọ mi fi ń gbé. Lónìí lọkọ mi fi ń live. But kò yé àwọn. Wọ́n wá ní òkè. Àwọn lẹ́yìn wá dáhùn pé property tá a rò pé ọkọ mi ní owó tá a rò torí ó lawọ́. So àwọn èèyàn mọ bó ṣe tó gangan. àwọn tomorrow investment ní Thomas ní ọ̀nà owóde onírin àwọn náà ra trailer for ọkọ mi tó fi ṣiṣẹ́ ọkọ mi ló ń to BRT ilé nígbà ayé Fáṣọlá gbogbo àwọn BRT ilé tó máa ń tó fún BRT yẹn lójú ọ̀nà ìtọ́ tí ìṣọ̀nà wọn yẹn ọkọ company ọkọ mi àwọn lọ́jọ́ ń ṣe.
All right, so once the family came there and she refused to be betrothed, be inherited by the husband's younger brother, she said she's not going to do that. She refused. Once the husband's family said that and she refused, they said, well, go away with your children there. We want nothing to do with you. All right. Now, when you pay attention to when she was saying that, that's something that really hurt her, right? And that goes to tell you our own mindset as well. Okay. A lot of these issues, she also has that traditional mindset as well. She expected that at least the husband's family should kind of take over some of the responsibility, and the way they traditionally did that, also part of that is to ask one of the siblings to inherit not just you as a woman, but the responsibilities that come with that. But she now asked and said, why do you think they're asking Toyin, the younger brother, why do you think they're asking him to inherit you, Shueloko, as a woman? She said because of the property. They thought the husband was rich. Okay, the husband was essentially hood rich. He had equipment. He was responsible for BRT lanes in Lagos. You know, it sounds like maybe drawing marks on the road and stuff. But he had equipment, but a lot of those equipment had loans against them. So what they knew was that their own son had money, and they were trying to secure that property according to her. That they were trying to secure that property, and that's why they were asking the younger brother to inherit her so that they can keep it all in the family. Let's keep going. Oh, she also mentioned that the Tomorrow Funding, Tomorrow something, there's a company, sounds like loan people. These were the people, so those people called her. They were the one that called her. And why would they call her? She's, you know, after all, she doesn't seem to be much involved in the husband's affairs while he was alive. I don't think, obviously, the guy did not expect to die. Let's keep going.
So you have information la wọ́n ti gbọ́, wọ́n ti mọ̀, lọ ṣe fẹ́ mé mi mọ́ra. Kí Tóyin lè máa handle company. Ìgbà tí mo débẹ̀.
You're welcome.
Guarantor be next of kin.
Guarantor and next of kin. Mo rí next of kin that is first born mi. Èmi ni guarantor. Okay. So gbogbo signature tó ń gbangban èmi mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó fi ń ṣe nìyẹn. Ó kàn máa mú fọ́ọ̀mù wálé. A ní wọ́n ní kó tọwọ́ bọ̀ bí. Ẹ mọ̀ pé kó lọ school. Èmi dẹ̀ ní àbọ̀ náà ni. So èmi bá kọ́ sí ni tọwọ́ bọ̀ èmi náà tọwọ́ bọ̀. So ìyẹn náà fi wá pé èmi wọn pẹ́ bí fún meeting yẹn. So bá ṣe wá débẹ̀ bọ̀ àwọn ẹbí náà tẹ̀lé mi lọ sí ibẹ̀. Ìgbà tá wá dé meeting yẹn. Ni bàbá yẹn wá pè mí wọ́n nílé pé wá.
Hey, Adeyemi, good to see you.
22 million 980,000.
The guy owed 22 million back in 2014. Do the math. I don't know. 22 million will probably be like 100 million today. Naira. Probably like $100,000, maybe more. But anyway, okay. The reason she's speculating, okay, she's thinking, she said maybe that's why. Her name was the guarantor on those loans. Her child was a next of kin on the documents of the loans. So the people that the husband was owing 22 million naira to basically made a call to her and say, hey, all this equipment, your husband owes this amount of money on all of them. What do you want to do? So when she was called to Lagos, she's saying that the family had found out that it was her name and her son's or child's name that was on the paperwork. And that's one of the things they saw up front, which is why they were trying to inherit her so that they can keep all that in the family. Let's keep going.
Kini, àwọn dẹ̀ ti make a decision àwọn ti pé àwọn value àbí value kini kan pé wọ́n máa value property yẹn. Ipe so kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tèmi lè ṣe sí because I don't know anything about trailer. Àwọn aláya mi mọ kọ́kọ́ pa ẹ̀. Àwọn dẹ̀ ní láti gba owó àwọn wọlé because gbogbo document àwọn trailer yẹn ó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n náà fi ṣe collateral fún wọn. Tó bá ti rà á fún àwọn á gba ìwé, òun á máa san owó.
It's like a mortgage. It's a car note.
Tó ló ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Bí bàbá yẹn ṣe ní mo ní daddy. Ó ní àkọ́kọ́ náà ọ̀rọ̀ mi ti rí bó ṣe rí. Ẹ gbà mí kí lẹ lè ṣe. Bàbá yẹn ní àwọn máa kó gbogbo ẹ̀ ní. Àwọn máa kó everything. Kí ọ̀rọ̀ kó lè
All right, so now the people that called and said they owe all this money, she said she doesn't know anything about all this equipment, all this kind of stuff. The family thought these were all properties. There are a bunch of loan notes, okay? Notes against all this equipment. And the man now said, well, there's nothing we can do. We're just going to take everything, all the equipment, right? They're going to recoup all the equipment. They're probably going to do like a value evaluation of what they're worth, probably sell them, get what they can get, and then see what they can do with the difference. That's probably what they're going to do, especially that she doesn't seem to know much about the equipment, and she's probably not interested really, you know. And remember that before the husband died, they were not in good terms. The husband already kind of discarded her away too. Let's keep going. Wait, what? Jesus. Stupid.
The only thing that was left in the other side of it was container. Talk on me fish office at Lenye. I need choice. Me need choice because me the money mo fẹ́ gboro mi gba. I need láti ta. But mo fẹ́ ko mo merin wo. What I don't want to call me 5 million. They gave me 5 million. Offer me 5 million in January 2015.
All right. She ended up with 5 million. I think she's actually lucky. But so what happened was that when they were trying to sort out one of the family members of the husband worked for the husband, so he had access to the keys and stuff. They went to some of those equipment and drove the equipment away from where they were. One of the equipment away from where they were parked. So that pissed off the Tomorrow Loan people, and then they decided to repossess everything. They took everything, and that's what she's crying about. But I guess they ended up selling, and she ended up with 5 million naira out of 22 million naira. He was owing 22 million naira. I think she was lucky that she ended up with 22 million naira. But yeah. Let's keep going.
Mo de gba mo ṣí shop. Ade bele be life mi mata ọmọ mi mo de gba ilé níbẹ̀. Èrú mata lo se. Ní ọ̀nà Ẹlẹ́pẹ̀ ní Ìkòròdú. Mo de run live life mi ní January 2015 yẹn. Títí díẹ̀ ní mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ẹbí ò fún mi ní 1 naira. Wọ́n ò pè mí débi kó máa béèrè àwọn ọmọ lọ́wọ́ mi. Bóyá mo kú, bóyá mo yè, wọ́n ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi. Dédé mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tó tún bá ṣiṣẹ́ tó ń jọ ṣiṣẹ́ àyàbù yìí. Kàkà kó yẹ kó ràn mí lọ́wọ́, fífẹ́ ni gbogbo wọn fẹ́ sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ fẹ́ mi. All because I'm helpless. Bí bá kọ́ owó síyàn, the next thing pé máa bọ̀ kí n bá ẹ sùn. So mo wá rí ilé ayé ibi pé ayé yẹn wà fún àwọn kan ju àwọn kan lọ. Lọ́dọ̀ tèmi. Kí ni ìwà sáyé mi kí ló jẹ́?
All right. So she said she ended up 5 million naira. She found an apartment for her and her kids. She opened a small shop, but it was still, things are not enough, you know. It was never enough for them to go around. And then she said she would ask some of the friends. Every time she asked some of the friends of the man, they all wanted to sleep with her, you know. They would just say, well, you want us to help, you have to deliver some goodies, you know. They wanted to sleep with her, you know. And then she said she found this whole life that it's good for some people, but it's not good for some people. Some people are winners, some people are losers. Let me see what's going on in the chat. This is what women being chattel looks like, being the demandee. Oshiatirano. Kilagbe kilaju. Where are we going with this? They still practice that stupidness called the inheritance. There's some uneducated people that still do. Yeah. This ish actually happens. A lady on Real Housewives inherited a grandmother's husband to keep the church money in the family. Wait, what? Which housewives? Real Housewives of what? Lagos? Okubedo say, if that's her understanding of the process, then she got it all wrong. Tell us more. That was the only family she had. Poor lady. Yeah. So she seems like she feels lost. She's probably still a child inside of a grown person's body. Let's keep going. You guys are enjoying it, or should I end it? It's 8:59 p.m. now. Should I end it, or you want to finish it? We can end it and do part 2 tomorrow. Let's get a poll in the chat. End it or get a part 2 tomorrow. Anybody needs any kind of recap? Are we following the story? Are we following? Yes. Follow. Are we following? Should we continue or should we finish it? If you want us to continue, put a 1 in the chat. If you want us to finish it, put a 2 in the chat. Mario says, let's end and get our lesson. We're already getting the lesson now. I guess one of the lessons too is like, nobody knows tomorrow. No condition is permanent. That man was oppressing her. You want us to finish it, eh? That man shot the moment the wife caught him cheating and then taking her kids over to her girlfriend's house. The man seized everything from her because she ended up fighting the girlfriend because of her own child, right? So in the midst of all that wahala, he passed away. Some people act like there's no tomorrow, so it is what it is, but it's no longer here right now. But this woman right now, you can tell on her face. Mr. Ajibola said, it's 2 a.m. in London. End it. Wahala. You guys, should I end it? We can do part 2 tomorrow. We can come back for part 2 tomorrow. That's fine with me. Can I get some more consensus? Did this lady ever get a break in this life? Not yet. Not yet. At least not in this part of the story. So let me tell you, we're 28 minutes in. I have it on 1.5 speed, and it goes all the way to maybe about 55 minutes. So, and I'm doing it 1 minute at a time, and then I have my own commentary. If you want to watch the full thing, if you understand Yoruba, just go to Lady B Biola Adebayo's platform on YouTube. The video is up there. This is just my own reaction. It's 2 a.m. Okay, all right. Let's. It's okay. The lesson thus far. Okay, let me just tell the lesson thus far. There's more to the story. Tomorrow we can continue. Okay, we know that we ended. Somebody remind me tomorrow. 28 minutes. Okay, so there's 30 more minutes in it in the video. All right. The lesson thus far is very, very simple. No condition is permanent. No condition is permanent. But also, I think the main lesson, because again, the way people are born into this world, people are born into different kind of conditions, right? So the fact that what she knew was just being a house girl. That's all she's ever known. She's probably just worked all her life, right? And then when she dropped from fry pan into fire now, right? She ended up with this man, and then the man, after she started having babies, the man did everything for her before the babies. Like, the man is also a very generous person. According to her, she acknowledged that the man was a very generous person. He gave money to people. People thought he was rich, but he was just making money from running a small business. He had loans against a lot of his equipment, But also at home, he had a lot of extracurricular activities going on, like i.e. side chicks, particularly in a very reckless way, because he was taking his kids to go see these people. There's no woman that will feel safe when you take their kids to go and see a side chick, and that's what made her fight. And then the man kicked her to the curb. So if he knew he was going to die, maybe he wouldn't act like that. Now, death is not necessarily a reward for bad behavior. It was just his time. So that's not the lesson. The lesson here is just, I want you to understand that self-awareness is key. When I say self-awareness, I'm not saying you're dumb. No, I'm saying do some extra work and study why you think and feel the way you feel about these issues. Okay? Why I feel some type of way about a particular issue, right? Especially if you're noticing that it's creating bad results, right? Or people disagree with you. A significant aspect of people disagree with you. You don't have to ever agree with them, but it's in your best interest to take some time apart and study. Why is it that they disagree? Just getting in the habit of asking why. There is more whys beyond. There's more answers to those whys beyond just the way you think, the way your mind works. The way your mind works is a function of what you were previewed to, the way you were made. It could be religion, it could be societal, it could be just the people that raised you, right? But I just need you to be aware that you don't, your own idea of moral standard is just a function of how you were made. Okay, now we all know right from wrong, basic right and wrong. Don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie, right? But oftentimes some of these issues don't end there, because if it ended there, why would that man should just with full chest and say, hey, I'm marrying you, you're a young girl, but I'm gonna have other wives? Well, it's not gonna do that, because cheating feels better. Okay, it's probably a way for him to cope and survive at an emotional level, so he engages in bad behavior. People do that. Okay, so yeah, I think we should end it here, because I'm actually tired. We will continue tomorrow. Let's soak it in. We have some other stories to augment it tomorrow. I'll be right back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. unfailingly. Mr. Ajibola said, I won't sleep if you don't end. I know. Let me let you go. This lady about, yeah, we covered that. I don't know why some men can be so selfish and careless like this. We will see. We will see to the end of it. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. Hit the like button, share, subscribe on your way out. Peace.
Hi, I'm Lola.
And this is Ola from Man of Prestige.
Did you know that nearly 50% of marriages end in divorce?
Studies also show that children raised in two-parent households tend to thrive.
If you're struggling in a broken relationship or marriage, you're not alone in facing these challenges.
But having a solid support system is crucial. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.